So this is our street. We live about a block to the subway station, which is super convenient. It's so mind-boggling to me that we leave our street and stay underground all the way until we get to Hoboken, New Jersey. It's been so fascinating learning the subway system, and it's definitely a highlight of living here. But being surrounded every day by so many humans in such a small space is still pretty crazy to me, but it's super fun at the same time. So you got your coffee,
OJ,
gummies,
and gummies. I'm excited about these gummies because they have the soda pop. See the soda pop gummy things. I've never had them, but I feel like they're gonna be really good. So
sounds like it.
They're gonna get me through this workout.
It's gonna make you hit a PR on your cleans.
We're going to PR country today. What are you doing today, Des?
I have max cleans today.
Max cleans?
Yeah, I'm super excited because I haven't tested it in probably since like last October.
Yeah.
It's gonna go up till I can't make it anymore.
Sweet.
So I had a pretty strong pull off the floor, great extension, but I end up losing that hook grip in the turnover. The bar crashes into me, causing me to lose that T-spine tension, and there my elbow crashes into my knee, impacting my wrist.
Yeah. What did you do today, Des?
So I had max cleans and I only PR'd by 1 kilo.
Yeah.
Take it. I hit 85. My best is 84. I definitely realized today that I need to get a weightlifting belt. I've been kind of going without one for a long time, so I used my coaches today, and it really made a difference. There's always next time.
Let's go, Des! Yes!
Jim's first day learning how to snatch from the floor.
Nice, babe.
Hi, buddy. Hi. All right, James, now you have to strip the bar and warm up for clean and jerks.
Cleans, yeah. Or I go over to that couch and I lay down and I sleep. Yeah.
I don't think that's an option.
It's in my program. I wrote my program, so I know it's in it. Come on.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So cute. Oh my god. I'm thinking everything.
So now I have deadlifts and then bench press afterwards because right now I'm training both sports, powerlifting and weightlifting, and I have a competition in July. So it's interesting training for both. This is my first time doing it.
also Jim's first day learning the split jerk, which has been really fun helping him learn these movements. He mainly trains jiu-jitsu, so incorporating these Olympic lifts has been really interesting and fun, and I can't wait to see how he progresses.
I am working up to about 75%, 125, so 275 pounds. I haven't pulled this weight in quite a few years. Put powerlifting on a back burner for a while so I could focus on weightlifting, but now I'm integrating powerlifting in with my weightlifting, so I'll be curious to see how this goes.
So for bench press, you can see that I like putting my feet up on the bench so I can really dig my scap and my traps into the bench. So my shoulders and my scapula are depressed and retracted. So this is gonna give me an optimal shoulder position so the bar can move efficiently in the bench press. I didn't get to go as heavy as I wanted to on bench press. My wrist was definitely bothering me here at this point just a little bit. So I kind of stopped there and continued with my overhead press. My overhead press has definitely improved over the years. I think for me, finding the right grip width for me and overall keeping my core, my quads, glutes all engaged and really sticking that head through once that bar clears my head. So those are little things that have helped me improve in the press. The overhead press was actually the standard test of upper body strength before the bench press became popular, which I think is really cool. And it was actually in weightlifting until the split jerk came along and they had to diminish it because due to inconsistent judging of the strict overhead press. But it is still in certain powerlifting federations today, which is pretty dope. From the 90 kilos attempt that you guys saw me miss. It's probably the worst spell that I have ever had. It was definitely ugly and it probably deserves a spot on gym fails. I felt pressure right after I did it, but I was able to continue my workout, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best idea. It progressively got worse when I got home. And my boyfriend Jim was like, let's go to the hospital. He's been doing jiu-jitsu for years and he told me one time during training that he broke his foot during training and didn't realize it until he got home. So he was very adamant about going to get an x-ray just to be sure because I definitely couldn't open and close my hand or do anything with it. So went and got an x-ray, it wasn't broken, just a soft tissue injury, which is very common. It's so fascinating how that delayed onset of pain can affect you the next day or even weeks later. I looked it up and it's very common. It's very similar to like car accidents or whiplash injuries. It can just affect you later because your adrenaline is going so high at that moment that your body is releasing endorphins, which is blocking those pain receptors signals to your brain. So it just kind of like shuts everything off until you cool down and your body's like, oh, what the fuck?
something's not right. So that's basically what happened in a nutshell. As a longtime athlete and a coach myself, I analyzed the failed attempt very carefully. I spoke with my coach and other mentors of mine to like break down the lift to see what I can do to improve and make sure that it doesn't happen again. One of the big issues was that I've never had experience bailing out of a clean before, especially with heavier cleans. I haven't really maxed out a clean, probably maybe once since I've started weightlifting. I'm still very new to weightlifting, but one of the biggest issues that my coach Ryan saw at Hoboken was that I lost my hook grip in the turnover, which is definitely a recurring issue for me. As I open up that hook grip, I'm losing control of the bar and it's floating away from my body. And probably doesn't help that it kind of crashed into me, and as I hit that bottom position, I lost that tension in my thoracic spine, causing the bar to go forward, slid down my arms, and that is where my elbow crashed into my knee and impacted my wrist to where it hyperextended with the weight in the bar in my hand. So I do want to note that some athletes actually let go of their hook grip during the clean. I think it ultimately comes down to preference, mobility issues, and how advanced the lifter is. If you're fairly new to weightlifting like myself, my suggestion would to train with the hook grip in the clean and turnover, just so you always have control over that barbell. And then once later down the road, if you become more advanced in lifting, then you can change your technique. I definitely know people that have done that. They have switched back and forth, so I think it just comes down to what works best for you. So how do we avoid this injury? It seems to be a pretty common injury within weightlifters. My coach said he saw it happen plenty of times over the years he's been coaching, and I had quite a few people reach out to me on social media telling me they had the exact same injury, failing a clean, or they have even broken their wrist or have known someone that have broken their wrists. I think going forward, the biggest thing for me, like I said before, is keeping that hook grip throughout the entire movement. Training with a hook grip in the front rack position, so front squats. I think also I need to learn to drop the bar sooner. Definitely need to get those legs, and if I feel that it is starting to slide down or my elbows drop, that I need to get out from under the bar way faster than I did. So I think that was a big issue and probably could have avoided less of an injury for this, but it happened. Another issue I think was me not having a weightlifting belt. Like I said before, I was kind of training without one, and I mean, granted, I haven't really been going super heavy in my training to begin with, so this was like the first day I was attempting to kind of push my limit, and I didn't have a belt, which I should have. Not saying that it would have, made me make the weight or miss it, vice versa. Overall, I think when you're attempting heavier weights like that, it's definitely good to have a belt. I think the biggest lesson that I could probably take away from this is if anything ever happens like this in the future, just stop. I continued my workout, and I definitely think I exacerbated this injury, even though I didn't feel it at the time. But looking back at it now, and Jim's story of when he broke his foot, he even says to this day, if he hears something pop or it doesn't feel right in his training, he calls it. And I think I need to do that in my training as well, especially after going through this. So next time I will know just to call it. It's not worth it. The weight will always be there. So if you're going through an injury, I feel ya. I've definitely had worse ones than this before. So hope you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully it will help someone not to bail out of a clean like I did. And I will catch you guys later.